Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is an unpacking video for the Thinkpad P16v Gen 1. I just got this in the mail today, so I'm gonna be unpacking it right now and we'll be checking it out. So let's see, let me get my knife out and let's do this. One moment, stay with me. Go. All right, this is how it looks like from the inside. If y'all are curious to know how it looks, so this is probably the power block right here. Let's get rid of this cardboard. Okay, got the cardboard out. Throw all this stuff away. There we go, perfect. We have. This is the Thinkpad. Let's remove this weird sticker. One moment. Okay, sticker removed. Let's slide this thing out. Okay, a fresh new Thinkpad right here. It's, has this little Lenovo thing. Let's open it. All right, this is how it looks like from the inside. As we can see here, P16v has that little, so this is a 5 megapixel webcam, has a little think shutter thing as well. So it's pretty cool. You have your privacy. This is the Ryzen 9. As we can see here, Ryzen 9, the speakers are up in the front. Nice keyboard, all good. Let's take on the sides here, let's take a look. We have two USB-A ports, headphone, that lock thing. We have this new thing, this design feature, this red line to USB-C, that power connector. The fans are in the back. As we can see here, it's not on the sides, only in the back, which is better in my opinion if you're using a mouse or something. An SD card and HDMI cable. All right, so let's power this baby up. One moment, let me get that power adapter. Okay, got it from my other computer. I'm a Thinkpad fan. Okay, it's inside and it's charging, as we can see. Let's turn it on. But yeah, so the power button's kind of different here. It has, I think, a Touch ID within the power button. So it doesn't, like the old ones used to have a Touch ID here. I guess this new one's kind of different. It has it that way. So change is good. No worries about that. So I'm just waiting for it to turn on at this point. Oh no, it's taking forever to turn on. Let's try again. So this has a matte screen. It doesn't have a gloss screen, which is, I prefer that, to be honest. This display is the 4K one, so it's 800 nits. My Thinkpad here is a P15 Gen 2, has a 300 nit display, so this is much brighter. So this is 800 nits, 300 nits. This is the Intel 8-core processor. This is the AMD 8-core processor. So I might have a comparison between the two because these are both 8-core processors, but I preferred AMD because it uses less power and it's faster and has lots of benefits, to be honest. So I might have later on this review, if I feel like it, I might compare both of them. So this is the P15 Gen 2 Intel 11th Gen 11850H. It's 8 cores, 16 threads. This is the Ryzen 4790HS, 8 cores, 16 threads as well. I'm not familiar on the top of my head the gigahertz difference, but I think this is faster. So the RAM in this ThinkPad comes with 32 gigs. I didn't buy the 64 gig one because I didn't like the speeds it had. So it's 5,600 megahertz, but it's a Hynix one with CL46. So I actually bought, let me show you one moment. So I actually bought this Kingston Fury RAM that's CL40, as you can see here. So this should be faster than the one that comes with the ThinkPad itself. So this is just the window screen. Let's go through it. Yes, whatever. Yes, United States. It's right. Okay, yes. No, I don't want to layout. Okay, wants to connect to my network. Okay, one moment. Let me just connect to the network. 1 second. Okay. Just connecting to my Wi-Fi. Okay, I'm connected. Next. So I like it that this one doesn't have those weird new design changes, and like the newer ThinkPads, like the P16 has this weird design in the background. I prefer this P16v because the design is the same as the old one, the same that I'm used to. I've been always buying ThinkPads my whole life. I actually bought used ThinkPads usually. This is my first new ThinkPad, and hopefully it's going to be something really cool. I look forward to it. I bought this with the 1 terabyte model, but I'm planning on adding the 4 terabyte Samsung 990 Pro. I got 2 of them because I have 2 slots, so I'll be having 8 terabytes in this build with 64 gigabyte RAM. I could have got the 96 gigabyte RAM, the crucial one, but I didn't want to do that because it would be a slower speed, and I usually never use more than 64 gigabytes anyways. So I think this should be more than enough, and I want performance, I want speed. I don't really care about memory size. I know some people might have that need. I don't really. So okay, let's see what's gonna happen now. I'm just waiting for this thing to turn on. Just general talking about ThinkPads. I think the Ryzen processors are better, superior than the Intel ones, because I don't like this big little architecture. I know this might be kind of a rant, but this whole performance and efficiency, and I have to play around with the kernel to make the Windows be able to use the efficiency processors and the power performance processors. I just prefer that traditional all performance processors. Like I think like the Intel 13700H has like 6 performance processors, and like let me just name my device. 1 moment. Okay. And it has like, I don't know how many efficiency processors. So I just wanted just pure performance processors, which I like about the Ryzen. It's all 8 performance processors, and it's a monolith die as well. So it should be more power efficient, more faster. So we'll see. I'm still going to do some benchmarks and compare my old ThinkPad with this one and see, is there performance improvement? Was it worth the purchase? Just 2 generations difference, I believe. Should I have bought it? Should I have not bought it? The thing I didn't like about the Intel ThinkPad, to be honest, was the thermal throttling. All the time would always thermal throttle. The fan would be so loud. It was so annoying. Like whenever, even if I'm just opening a Google Chrome browser, the fan would be, it's just like as if I was running like a spaceship in my room. So it was just so annoying. So I know these AMD laptops, they're more power efficient, so they should be run quieter. I think it's even similar to M1 MacBook Pro performance. So I was looking for that. I was looking for efficiency, a quiet fan so I don't get a headache, and I want speed as well. I wanted a good quality screen. So this is a 1610 screen. This is a 16:9 screen. 1610, I have in my work laptop 1610 screen. So to be honest, I was looking forward to that as well. I don't like to connect monitors to my laptop. I prefer just working on the screen itself. So what I hate about Windows 11 is that I have to sign in. I don't want to sign in, but it's probably going to force me to sign in. So I'm going to sign in 1 moment. Okay, I should have signed in now. Let's see. I don't want to back up anything. Just continue. Restore. No, I don't want to restore anything. Just 1 moment. Set up as a new PC. Skip for now. You have to create a Windows Hello pin. Okay, I'm gonna create a stupid Hello pin. 1 moment. Okay, created the stupid Hello pin. I'm probably gonna install Windows 10. Yeah, Yeah, whatever. Okay, accept. Skip. Just taking forever. Skip. Not now. Continue without. Decline. Oh my god. It's all this stuff. Skip for now. They're like forcing us to, you know, subscribe and all these random stuff so they can make money from this basically, but whatever. Okay, it's probably gonna start updating and do all this stuff. So what I like about this laptop as well, it's lighter. My P15 Gen 2 is much thicker. I could like compare these side by side. One moment. Okay, so if I was gonna compare the P15 Gen 2 with this, like look how thin this is and how thick this is. It's much thicker. I could put them on top of each other, so it would be more obvious. There we go. You see here, tiny, thick. So there's a slight color difference. I think the P15V is a bit darker than the P16v. Sorry, is darker than the P15 Gen 2. I think there's a small material difference as well, but overall, like the design is really close. I don't really see like much difference at all, other than this little trackpad here. And I know it's kind of dusty, but you know, I don't clean my laptop that much. All right, the screen quality difference. This is so much better than this. Like it's worlds apart difference. Let's plug in here. It might not be that clear here, but there is, I need to turn off flux as well, because I think flux might influence this. Disable for an hour. So one screen is much brighter than the other screen, that's for sure. I would never want to work with this one full brightness because it's very bright. I might have to reduce it a bit. This isn't that bad. It's still kind of bright as well. You know, 300 nits isn't really that bad, to be honest. But like for me to work comfortably, I'd have to do it like this. Maybe at 80%. With here, I'd probably have to go much less. Maybe at between 50 and 60%. So yeah. Is it worth the price difference? Probably not. But you know, I just want to get a new laptop and keep it with me for a while, so that's why I did this. Overall, I still need to run some benchmarks, but just to compare the two, if anybody's interested. Like you can see the screen here, like this one is a 16:9, and this is 16:10, so you have much thinner frames, more screen width, right? Thinner bezels. It's still kind of thick to like today's standards, I guess, but like if you want to compare it to like a MacBook, for example, here it's so much thinner. But anyways, it's, you know, it's just the same design. I think this red hue is kind of darker than this one. This is kind of brighter, darker. What else? I think there's more ports in the P15 Gen 2, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, like you have the fans here on the sides and the back as well. You have 3 USB-C ports. I think in this one it was only 2. You have the Ethernet port. I don't know if it's a deal breaker for you guys. I never really used it, to be honest. Some people maybe who work in IT would say this is a deal breaker. For me, I didn't really care. You have the smart card reader as well, which I never really used. So I think this has 1.8 millimeter keyboard travel. This is 1.5. I don't even use the keyboard. I always use like an external keyboard, and I have this on a stand, for example. What I didn't like this was just the fan was so loud and annoying, so I'm expecting this to be much quieter. Let's just show the system specs that I got just to confirm with you guys before running any benchmarks. Let's see here. How do I get the system properties? System properties, system information maybe? I don't know. Let's see. So nope, it's not that. Oh, system information. Let's see what system information does. Okay. So this is the Ryzen 9 Pro. I also got the 2 gigabyte, what's it called? That NVIDIA card. There was like 3 different models, the 512, 1 gig, and 2 gig, I think. I can't remember. But it should have been the highest end one. This is 32 gigabytes RAM. I got it on purpose because I plan to install better RAM here. So yeah, this is the specs of the machine. And I'll be running a few benchmarks shortly. I'm just gonna start updating everything first. Let's see, Windows Update. And once I update my machine, I'm going to start running the specs and comparing, benchmarks between this one and this one, and then we can see which one is better. Okay, so we'll be back. Okay, so the Cinebench R23 scores have been finished for the P16v. We got multi-core 15,878 points and single core 1,766. If we compare that with the P15 Gen 2 with the Intel processor, it has 11,173 points multi-core and 1,546 single core. So in the multi-core, it's much faster. I'd say about 40% faster. For a single core, maybe, I don't know, 10 to 15%, something like that. For Geekbench as well, let's see Geekbench here. We got in the multi-core 12,424, single core 2,435. You can scroll down here a bit if you all are interested in seeing the other benchmarks for the Geekbench scores. Now let's compare with the Intel 8-core processor. We have 10,190 and 200,236. So I say single core, they're pretty similar. It's not that much. I say maybe 10% difference. But the multi-core, we're seeing maybe, I don't know, 25% difference in Geekbench as well. So it's pretty obvious that the AMD processor, it is 2 generations different. So I would expect that. But I just like to say that the fan noise is much less in the AMD processor. So it's much quieter. And the Intel processor is much louder. I could record the fan noises later, maybe. So that's for performance of these two systems. Now I'm gonna compare like the sizes of these two and dimensions. So as we said here, this is the 16:9 ratio. This is 16:10 ratio. This is the 800 nit display. This is 300 nit display. Obviously this is much brighter. The color renditioning is better. I believe this is 45% color. This is 100% sGRB color, something like that. So I think the color here would be better. It's brighter. Let's try to close it and put them next to each other. Let's see here. Even though the displays are different, one is 16:10 and one's 16:9, let's put them one on top of each other. We can see that they're almost like the same size, more or less. Actually, the 16:9 is a bit bigger, believe it or not. Let me see here. Yeah, so the 16:9 is wider and shorter, while the 16:10 is longer, obviously because of the longer display, but a bit thinner, I'm assuming due to the bezels. If I would put them on top of each other, side by side, you could see that one is much thinner than the other one. We could see here, it's pretty obvious. This is much thicker, this is less. The color is very close. The materials are kind of different. I think one is a polycarbonate while the other has some like rubbery texture to it. But they both feel pretty premium, to be honest. As we see, of course, there's an Ethernet port here, the red line here. This is for the new the newer models. So the P15 Gen 2 has fans on both sides, while here we only have fans in the back. The AMD runs significantly quieter, as I said earlier. It looks pretty much the same. There's not much differences we're seeing. So there's one USB port on each side in the P15 Gen 2, while the P16v has two USB-A ports on one side. Overall, should you buy it? I'm not sure. I think let me just show the webcams as well, because this was one of the reasons why I bought it, was for the better webcam. So let me show you the webcam right here, how it looks like. Camera. My room's kind of messy, but whatever. So yeah, the camera here is really good quality. You could even see I'm probably gonna do it like a share screen recording. Like if I was gonna compare it to the P15 Gen 2, for example, this camera sucks, you know, so really bad camera. Let me just get it. Yeah, so here my face looks like a potato. It's, you know, it doesn't really show any details here. I think the coloring is better. It doesn't really show this way, but I'll probably have to record both screens so it would be obvious. I'll probably do that later at the end of the video. So yeah, overall, I think it's a buy. The P16v, I think it's good. I recommend AMD processors for sure. Intel one's thermal throttle. AMD doesn't do that much. Runs quieter, uses less power. It's lighter, has a better screen, 1610 display. Yeah, 16:9 is kind of old. I don't recommend buying any laptop with a 16:9 display at this point. If you're a coder, you could see more of your screen. It's better. So highly recommend. If you want to hear the keyboard sound, here, you know, it's really more or less the same feel. I don't even use the keyboard, to be honest. I just use an external keyboard. I'll do a speaker test as well. Why not? Let me play something. Let's see. Speaker test. Let's get Elon Musk. Why not?
Hi, Mark Barden at Sandy Hook Promise here. When the gunman shot his way into
what was that trip like? And obviously, you know that there's a public perception that, and you're clarifying this now.
I like to say that the P15 Gen 2 has a problem with really low speakers. I had to download this sound thing called equalizer, where I could make the gain higher on the speakers. Because if I do it at 0 dB, which is where it naturally is, it's super low. So let me get, for example, here, YouTube. Let me get any random thing like Joseph Carlson. Why not?
Everyone would love to have a monster dividend portfolio, one that spits out huge dividends day after.
It doesn't sound that low here, to be honest, but I feel like this one has a higher sound overall. It sounds louder. They're both really solid laptops. I just found the fan annoying in the P15 Gen 2. I think the P16v will be a good laptop. I still want to install the RAM and the SSDs. I'll probably get rid of Windows 11 and put Windows 10. Overall, good laptop, solid. Let me know if you want anything else I should include in this review. Take care. Have a good day. So this is the back of the P16v Gen 1. I don't like the material, to be honest. This plasticky material. Like my P15 Gen 2 has a much better material on the bottom. So I think the V model is like for the cheaper version, but it's the only one that had the AMD processor, which is why I bought it. Lots of similarities between the two. I think this is a bit different here, like this and this. Like one's a bit higher than the other one. One's more elevated. Why, I don't know. So a neat thing about the P15 Gen 2 is this little like slot you had here, right, where you could just remove this and put in the DDR4 RAMs, I think, or the SSD slots. I think it was here. So you have to remove the whole cover here to do that. So you generally only do this once anyway, so it's not a big deal. So I'm gonna start removing this and installing my SSDs and RAM. So I'll keep you updated. I'm gonna start unscrewing it now. So I finally got off the cover. It was not easy at all. I had to use this tool. I suggest you get something like it to remove the cover with. It was not easy. So now I believe these two are the SSDs. I believe these are the RAMs. So I'll be removing these RAMs here. Because I didn't like this crappy Hynix brand. I know some people use it and stuff, but I wanted a higher end model, so I got the CL40 instead of this CL46 RAM. So I'll be taking these out. I think these are heat sinks. That's pretty cool. So I'm gonna be installing my stuff now, and I'll be back. Okay, so I ran the Geekbench and Cinebench again with my new RAM installed and my new SSD installed. So that was the 4TB Samsung and the 64GB RAM Kingston CL40. And I have noticed that the scores have increased by a significant margin, at least for the multi-core score. Maybe by 1,000 points in Geekbench, and in Cinebench as well. We see, I think, about 1,000 points as well in the multi-core score. So the numbers have increased, that's for sure. So the stock RAM, the stock SSD that comes with the P16v AMD, I don't recommend it. I recommend you get the lowest model possible and buy from Amazon or wherever you'd like to buy higher end components, because there is a speed difference when you do that. And overall, I just got this like the day before yesterday, I believe. So I think it's a good laptop. There is a performance difference between my 11th generation Intel one here and my 7th generation AMD processor here. I mainly got it because it was just lower power, faster processing, and it's lighter too, and it's thinner. It's lighter, thinner bezels, more modern look, 16:10 ratio instead of the 16:9 ratio. You have these thick bezels here, thinner bezels here, better webcam, 5-megapixel webcam instead of this 720 pixel HD camera here. So, and it's the same design look. So like the other ThinkPad models, the P16, for example, I had a weird back. I like the same conservative look here, but with a modern touch to it. I don't like the new designs. It's just a matter of personal preference, really. I prefer the same old look that I've been using for the past, I don't know, maybe 10 years of my life. I had a ThinkPad X model, like X230 in the beginning, I believe. Then I had a T450. Then I had a W541. Then I had a P53. Then a P15 Gen 2. And finally, the P16v. So I'm a ThinkPad guy, and I prefer the same old look. And overall, yeah, so these laptops, you should take care about the newer laptops, the newer ThinkPads, is that some of them have soldered on RAMs, and some of them have soldered on SSDs. I'm not sure if they all have soldered on SSDs. I know they have soldered on RAMs. So this one I purchased because the RAM could be replaced. Other models don't have that option. And if you have a dead RAM, you're probably gonna have to fix your whole motherboard or something. So I just have a preference to being able to remove and put whatever I want. So that's why I bought this model. I think there's a Z16 Gen 2. It has a faster RAM, even like a 6,400 megahertz RAM, something like that. But it's soldered on, which is why I bought this one. And yeah, so that's the end of my review. I'm sorry it was kind of a rant. this is just the first time I've done a review before. I'm pretty sure I could have done this in a better way. Sorry if I gave you too much information or unnecessary information, but you know, feel free to post in the comments if you want me to say anything else or observe anything else, or you have any questions about the laptop overall. Have a good day.